It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Tuesday, the last day of the month, February 28th, 2023. Woo, flew by. Number 1. On February 22nd, the creator of the Dilbert comic strip, Scott Adams, described black people as members of a hate group and that white people should get away on his YouTube show, Real Coffee with Scott Adams. As you can imagine, the repercussions have come down as dozens of papers have said they would cease to publish Dilbert. The strip, which makes fun of office culture, first appeared in 1989. Adams referenced a Rasmussen report survey that asked whether people agreed with the statement, "It's okay to be white." Most agreed, but Adams noted that 26% of black respondents disagreed and others weren't sure. Number 2, Sunday was the 10th anniversary of the murder of Trayvon Martin. Trayvon was fatally shot by George Zimmerman, a neighborhood watch volunteer who claimed to have shot the unarmed 17-year-old out of self-defense during a physical altercation. Police initially opted not to arrest Zimmerman. The case sparked protests and ignited national debates about racial profiling and self-defense laws. Zimmerman later was charged with second-degree murder, but in a high-profile trial that riveted America, he was acquitted of the charge against him. The term Black Lives Matter was then used for the first time by organizer Alicia Garza in a July 13, 2013 Facebook post in response to Zimmerman's acquittal. Number 3, if you get health care coverage through Medicaid, you might be at risk of losing that coverage over the next year. At the beginning of the pandemic, the federal government prohibited states from kicking people off of Medicaid. Before the pandemic, people would regularly lose their Medicaid coverage if they no longer qualified, for example, making too much money. That all stopped once COVID-19 started spreading across the country. Over the next year, states will be required to start checking the eligibility again of every person who is on Medicaid. People will have to fill out forms to verify their personal information, including address, income, and household size. Number 4. A 22-year-old white former student at the University of Kentucky allegedly caught on camera physically and racially verbally attacking a black student employee on campus has been criminally indicted on 6 counts that she was initially facing. A grand jury in Fayette County returned indictments against Sophia Rosing on 3 counts of 4th-degree assault, among other charges. Rosing has pleaded not guilty to all the charges against her. This incident occurred when a visibly drunk Rosing entered Boyd Hall in the early morning hours November 2nd of last year and began verbally berating a black student employee who was working behind the desk. Number 5, tax payment is an unavoidable part of many citizens' lives. If you're not able to pay the tax you owe by your original filing due date, the balance is subject to interest and a monthly late payment penalty. Remember, it's always in your best interest to pay in full as soon as you can so that you can minimize that additional charge. Our CPA, Katrina M. Kraft, tells us different ways to pay your taxes without paying it in full right away in the What You Need to Know newsletter. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. If God's grace is sufficient, you can be gentle with yourself. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with my guys, comedian Damon Williams and producer Ahmed Gordon, as we discuss today's top headlines and more. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.